Welcome back to the Prescription Podcast. Today I've got a few different guests. If you don't know them already, then I don't know where you've been living, because I'm with my best friend Kat, my boyfriend Siege, and Breeze, who's a really long time friend of mine as well. So I don't know if you all want to introduce yourselves.
What's going on? CJ.
Yeah, Breeze or Aaron, whatever, I guess. Actually, do you know what? It's got to that point now where I've been called Breeze for so long, I actually...
You just answer to whatever, yeah?
Yeah. It also feels weird if someone calls me Aaron. So
yeah, I know. It's almost like when you're naughty as a kid.
Yeah, I feel like I'm at home and my mum's shouting at me.
Does your mum call you Aaron?
She does, but there's occasions that she's used Breeze before, and I just was like, nah.
This is not okay.
Yeah. Where does Breeze come from?
Because everyone used to call him, used to say you look like Chris Brown, I think.
No?
That's not a story.
Definitely not the story. Okay, share the story. That's what I thought the story was.
It's for another time.
I like that.
Okay,
For
like
another
that.
time.
Okay, obviously Chella. If you don't already know and you're new, then I'm Chella.
And I'm Kat. That's it.
So yeah, we've got a couple of different range of topics today, and I thought it'd be really interesting because it's nice to get a male perspective and a female perspective on a few topics. So I put a poll up on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago, and I just wanted to get a general consensus of how people felt with no context. So given that there's no context to this question when I posed it, but obviously we'll dig a bit deeper into what it was. So the first topic I thought of was, should a guy pay on a first date? I don't know who wants to kick us off.
Please, you can take that one.
Shall I start, actually? I'll start with the general consensus of what everyone said.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
So-
good idea.
So it was out of obviously or I'm not bothered, and 68% of people said they weren't bothered. That was about 200, 300 people voting. So the majority said they're not really bothered whether a guy pays on a first date or not. Keeping in mind, I didn't give any context. So digging deeper into this, I think there's definitely things that have to be mentioned when you talk about this thing. So in my mind, for example, if someone says to you, can I take you out? That's you asking me to pay for a first date.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
But say if it's a blind date or you've never met this person before, whatever, you've been set up, let's just say, for example, I don't necessarily think it's a man's duty to pay because they don't know you. They might go there and not like you, and it might be very obvious that you don't like them. So why are they going to pay for your meal? In my sense. But I don't know how everyone else feels about it.
I'll be honest, I didn't even think of that concept. But I'll be real, how many people actually do go on blind dates? Is that actually a genuine...
Well,
I've
for example,
never
first
known
dates.
someone to do it.
I know this is like a TV show, but first dates, for example, they go, and then the norm, usually, when you watch those episodes, the bloke pays, and when they don't, everyone's a bit like, oh, this is really awkward, you should pay. But yeah, like you say, not really often you go on blind dates, but you might go on like a Tinder date, where you haven't met that person before, but you've met them virtually. Is it their duty then to pay?
I'll be honest, from my perspective, I personally, I don't think the guy should have to pay. I don't think there should be like a definite, okay, whatever happens, first date, guy's paying for it. I don't agree with that at all. I basically think that from my perspective, I do expect to pay though, if that makes sense. So if I was going on a first date, I would definitely be the guy to suggest that I'll pay for it. Part of me would be thinking, I'm now at this point where I'm actually kind of assessing you here. Are you going to say you're going to pay half of it?
Yeah.
Because
do you think a girl?
I'm not going to lie to you.
If you're not gonna, even if you're not gonna accept it, a girl should always offer. In my mind, that's just a polite thing to do.
Yeah.
It's just to say, I'll go half.
I agree with you, but if you're going to do that fake thing where you... Do you want me to split the bill? Nah. And then deep down inside you're thinking, yeah! That was never... Shut the fuck up and keep your card in your pocket. Don't fucking lie. If you're going to actually offer and be real, then cool.
Facts. You got to be getting the person.
I know some girls that will go on a date and not take their purse. So the expectation is that they're going to go and I'm going to be paid for. And I know from, before that if I was going on a date, I would always make sure I had enough money to pay for myself. Yeah. There's no way I'm going somewhere that's out of my price bracket or anywhere that I do you know what I mean though? But these girls being taken to Hakkasan and shit, nah, if I can't afford to pay for my own meal, we won't be going. But I think you have to be polite and be like, And also, if I know that I'm not into that person, I will insist on paying for my meal.
Well, so that's basically like,
I'm not going
I'm
to
just
mug
getting
someone
meal, I
off
don't
and be
like-
like, yeah, I'll take the free meal, but we're never going to talk again. Like, I'll pay my way. Do you know what I mean?
But a lot of girls would take that as their prime
course they would.
opportunity to be like, yeah, you're paying. Cool,
Yeah.
see you later.
And if they're bare arrogant and showy offy, I'll let you pay, bro. I'll let you pay because if you're a dickhead, then you just take the L. But if you're genuine, or just not feeling it, then I'll pay my way. And
I think it completely depends on the situation, doesn't it?
yeah,
Like you said, if someone's asked you out, then they need to be planning it. They need to be saying where you're going, what
Yeah.
time, and then I would probably still offer.
yeah.
Just because I got the whole
You're the
feeling
most
bad.
softest person. You could be, honestly, some guy could do the worst thing and Kat would be like, I still have to be polite. Like, no, you don't have to be polite. If they're not being polite to you, you don't owe them a shit. If they're not being polite, she's like, no, I just feel bad. I feel bad.
I feel bad.
What do you feel bad for? You're never going to see him again.
So I would still offer regardless.
Yeah.
Always.
I agree. So we're all in agreement that, or are we in agreement that it's the norm for guys to at least expect to pay unless something goes terribly wrong and you think, nah, I'm not going to pay for you. Because somebody sent me their opinion. Some guy said...
Wait.
That's another one.
Yeah. Why is it the norm? I think it all depends on the guy, doesn't it, at the end of the day? Like, I'll speak for me and Breeze maybe and other guys. If you're financially set, then paying is light work. That's nothing. What's a bill at a restaurant? You know what I'm saying? My issue comes with a lot of maybe not a lot. I don't know the percentage of I've never polled all the women in the world, but a lot of women in certain generations expecting like people don't owe you shit. Mm-hmm. You should like you said, if you're going to, even if someone said to you, "Can I take you out?" You should still go to that date with the mindset that I at least need to. I might have to cover my bill. If that other person then pays for you, brilliant. That's sick. But
and I think you can do it in, like, obviously when we went on our first date, like, you got dinner, we went out for drinks, and I'm more than happy to go to the bar.
Yeah.
Like, you
dinner
have...
was more expensive for the record. Dinner was bare more expensive.
Nah.
She bought 2 Cokes and didn't even contribute for ice or anything. So yeah, just know that.
But and again, it's different when you're in a relationship. Like sometimes we'll go on a date night and, let's not lie, like majority of the time CJ gets the bill. But there has been times where I'll be like, I'm taking us for dinner or whatever, but we're never going to the table. We're never splitting that bill at the table. Like, we're not doing the separate card machine thing.
Actually, that's a good point. I don't think me and Holly have ever split a bill.
No.
I think
Either one person gets it or the other person gets it, and that's cool.
We tend to do like, I'll get one, the next one she'll get it.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
almost like unspoken. We just know, you got the last one, I'll get this one.
Let me tell you about a situation.
Can I just
Okay.
say, just to cut in, that what you just said about you get one, I get one. That's for me the sign of an adult relationship.
Yeah, 100%.
Once you
Absolutely.
get to that point, it's the idea of money's not really an issue. Like, you're going to pay for
Facts,
this, I'll get this. That's
Yeah.
something. Once you get to that point, that's when you know, okay, cool, I'm actually in an adult relationship, as opposed to I don't know, some childish thing where only one person covers it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about a story time. So everyone's aware of this story that's around this table, maybe apart from you, Breeze. I was seeing this person and we'd been somewhere for the day or whatever, and on the way back, they were like, oh, should we get McDonald's? I was like, yeah, cool. I'm like a bit peckish, like I could do with a cheeseburger or whatever. In the drive-thru now, we get to the drive-thru thing, and he's like, oh, can I have a Big Mac, a milkshake, a McFlurry, like ordering himself like half the menu. And then he said, can I get a separate order, please?
Oh, them ones.
And I'm sat there thinking, it's a 99p cheeseburger. Like, how are you... So now we get to the drive-thru, and the woman at the drive-thru has to hand through the card machine for 99p. Well, he's got like the whole list. And I get it. If you've not got money for McDonald's, we're not going to McDonald's. Or be prepared, because if that was me, if it was a friend, a boyfriend, somebody you're seeing, some stranger, I'd be like, do you want a coffee? Or do you want something? Yeah. And I would get it. I wouldn't be saying, can I have a separate order for that, please? That is a level of petty that I will never forgive. But that's just a story time.
Buying out the whole menu was 99p extra.
That's my point. That's my point. If he was just like a bit tight or whatever, I was thinking, I'm just going to get a milkshake or whatever, you can get your own. But don't order half the menu and then quibble over 99p.
Nah, I'm backing the guy on this one. But because, no,
Literally.
the reason
It's not him, by the way. It's not him.
It's not me. The reason why I'm backing the guy is expectation to me. That guy don't owe shit. What the fuck? I could go take Charles. I mean, it's different from Charles and I because there's an expectation there. But let's say we went together and I wanted to take someone out on a date. I could order page 2 of the menu at Hakkasan and not buy you nothing. I don't owe you
drive
shit.
through, so they have to hand through the
I
car
don't
machine.
care.
It's bare
I don't owe
awkward.
you shit. I don't owe you. Did you go to my work and do my job?
No, but
Then
there
ask
have
me to
been
get
previous
money.
occasions in this certain,
But it's real though. Am I chatting shit?
No, I get what
I owe nothing.
I get what you're saying.
If it's 99, if it's just 99p, then you pay for your 99p cheeseburger. What the fuck are you talking about?
But there had been scenarios before where I had copped the bill or been in a scenario, and I know what you're going to say. You're going to say you shouldn't have that expectation, but treat others how you expect to be treated. Don't take things from me then if you're not willing to do the same thing.
But then you also can't do something and expect the same back.
100%. And this is his life motto, I think. But
exactly.
Yeah, but
you can only dictate what you do in life.
Yeah.
How other people react to you or act to you.
yeah, but just know at that point,
That's not your control.
from the cheeseburger scenario, I'm done because that's petty.
No, that's
So
petty. What?
I went home, nothing continued. You lost out over a cheeseburger, my brother. So
He
it's up
saved
to
99p. So who's the real winner?
well, if you're making savings.
Am I lying, Bree?
If I'm making savings.
Am I lying, Bree?
Cool. Okay, the next one was once a cheat, always a cheat. Now I'll start with the what everyone said. So 40% of people said they can change, and 60% of people said they ain't changing. So what is your opinion on that?
I would say, again, it depends on the situation. Like, are we talking about you're getting into a new relationship with someone who cheated on their past partner, or are you in a relationship where you've been cheated on and you're trying to keep that relationship going?
Yeah.
They're two, I mean, there's probably more situations alongside that, but those two, I would say, are very different.
Yeah.
I think if it's a new person and a new relationship and that's their past, I think in some respects you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I think it also depends on age. At what age did they cheat? And what
Don't get me wrong,
phase
it
in their
is a
life.
scummy thing to do, and I cannot.
No.
Like,
We're not excusing cheating. Never that.
But I think again, if the relationship, you know, they have been single for however long or whatever, and they did it in a past relationship when they were young or something like that, you just don't know, do you? And then they come into this, you might be a very, very different person to their past relationship, and actually their level of respect for you is completely different to that other person.
Yeah.
And for that, you know, you got to think, okay, but you will know.
Yeah.
In a way, you would know if you
100%
trust
agree.
that person.
Yeah.
If you don't,
If someone cheats on me in that relationship, I'm gone. They're not. I don't believe that they can change once that trust has been broken. And even if that person promises to never do it again, they're never going to do it again. That trust is ruined anyway. So what's the point?
So again, like that's when you're in that, they've checked out.
Yeah.
They checked out when they were even thinking about it. They checked out.
Yeah.
So they might say, "Oh, I want you back. I want to be with you. I want to be with you." Okay, cool. But you clearly didn't want to at that point.
Yeah.
And then for you, like, regardless of how much you want to be with that person,
Yeah.
you're never going to be able to fully trust that person. Those doubts are going to run through your head, whether they're looking at their phone, whether they've gone out. You are never going to be able to fully relax in that relationship
100%.
ever.
At that point, you checked out as well.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you're both out of it.
Yeah.
So what's the point in carrying on?
I think there's like so many different levels to cheating, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question.
that's
What do you class as cheating? Because there's sleeping with someone, kissing someone, whatever. But I think as soon as you're entertaining another person whilst in a relationship, and your partner doesn't know about that,
Facts, yeah.
then that is being
That's
unfaithful.
cheating.
That's
Yeah.
cheating.
Yeah, I think you've hit like that is exactly it. It's the whole loyalty and being unfaithful. As soon as you're doing something the other person doesn't know about that you shouldn't be doing,
Yeah.
that has to be classed in the category at least of cheating. Like you're doing something that you know full well your partner won't like, and you're not telling them for that reason. Like,
Yeah.
it's as soon as lies and that start being told, yeah, you're in the wrong. Like, you just
Yeah.
need to,
if you're starting to live another life that they don't know about,
Yeah.
you're starting to do things that they don't know about, all
Yeah.
the secrets and things like that. No.
But I think people can change though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like
Yeah.
I think because I've definitely seen people in relationships where they have consistently cheated on each
Same.
other, and then they've matured and whatever and met someone new, and they're a completely different person in that relationship. Like they're the most faithful person I've ever seen. So
Yeah,
there's
I'd agree with
massive differences, and I think a lot of it comes down to is like, why is the cheating happening in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will look at this as one category and say, okay, well, the person who's cheating is wrong. Yeah, wrong. Yes, they are. They're 100% wrong for that. But I think there could be something else within that relationship that the other person needs to ask themselves of like, well, why is that person doing that? Like, because you've got, like you said, the person's obviously checked out from when they've gone and cheated, but they could also have had their trust broken in another way within that relationship to make them feel.
But then my
like
question
the
would
same
be,
as
why not leave?
Yeah,
Why
Facts.
cheat?
same.
I completely
Instead
agree.
of cheating and
Completely
doing
agree.
that and hurting someone else in the process, as well as, you know, breaking their trust and breaking them down as a person or whatever,
Yeah.
why not just say
It becomes tit for tat,
Yeah, no,
and it
right,
becomes petty. Like you're just
the damage that causes on someone is
Yeah,
just
yeah,
ridiculous. And, you know, why not just say, actually, I can't do this anymore. There's something not right. If I'm even thinking about talking to someone else or doing something for someone else, then I need to get out of this.
yeah.
I think that's where the maturity comes into it. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be interested to know those people who said want to cheat, always cheat, just beyond cheating, what they think just human beings are like. Because if you're saying want to cheat, always a cheat, people can change. Whether you're addicted to drugs, whether you know, I don't know, addicted to fast food.
Just because you won't make one bad choice doesn't necessarily
Exactly.
mean you're
And
going
we've
to
all
continue.
made bad choices. May not cheating,
that's
but
literally my point. So all those people that have said want to cheat, always cheat, what bad choices in your life have you made that you've then changed that you think someone else can't do in their own lives?
and that's quite a high percentage of people that think that. I thought,
Yeah.
because I think, and again, it might be an age thing, because I think you do get to a certain age where you think, you look at the world in a different way. You are a lot more understanding of people's mentality and how things can change. Whereas I know I've been in a situation before, I'd be like, I'd never date anybody that's cheated before, because you have those insecurities anyway. So it's almost like protecting yourself to be like, I'm not going to go into this because they've done that before and it might happen to me.
And
But I know now my mentality is a lot different.
But I would say as well, not just within you, like it's who you surround yourself with as well.
100%.
So whether that's, you know, friendship, family, whoever, relationships, and their thoughts on it. If you've got a friendship group who are all like, nah, they're scummed up, like men are shit, men are
Girls
shit,
are so good at that.
then you're all going to be thinking like that. Or
Yeah.
you know, especially if you're someone who's not going to speak their mind necessarily. And if actually then you're all going to think like that, you're never going to get out of that cycle, and you're always going to be like that. And it's, yeah, I think it definitely depends on people around you and the conversations you have with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so the next one. Would you be bothered if your partner had a profile on a platform like OnlyFans? Now, I say OnlyFans, and I know OnlyFans is a broader platform and there's things more, you know... Jesus Christ. But I'm talking about posting nudes, entertaining, you know, like ultimately like online sex work, if you like.
I'll be real, this is a real simple answer, but I'm out.
Yeah.
The moment that shit's happening, I'll be gone. I don't
Tell
care.
us what the percentages were.
So the percentages, so it was out of their body, their choice, or could never be me. So their body, their choice got 31% of people, and 69% of people said could never be me. And I definitely sit within that could never be me category, just to be clear.
I'll be honest, if I'm with someone and they were doing that before I was with them and I knew, it's a different thing because I've chose to be with
Yeah.
that person.
Agree.
If, say, my girl now decides she wants to pop up to me the next day and be like, oh, by the way, I'm starting an OnlyFans account, now I'm out. Like, okay, cool. There's not even a question for me. That's like, nah, what are you doing?
There's nuance behind the topic, though. I think, what are we talking about? Because if, let's say, Charles was saying, okay, bang, I'm just going to post pictures in lingerie and I'm bringing in 4 or 5 mil a year.
No, but that's different.
4 or 5 mil?
No, but that's
You're
different.
rating me
I
highly.
think it's just mentioned the
You
question
can bring in
was like-
20 mil, baby. I'm not joking. Yeah, but yeah, go on.
No, because Charles said, like, we're talking like nudes and essentially sex work.
Thing is, there's such an array, isn't there? Like
Yeah.
people
Exactly.
go and sell pictures of their feet Because
you
there's
see
men
me-
out
Give it
there,
a
or
second.
even like used shoes and stuff like that. Like there's men out there that will buy it. Yeah.
Used
They will
shoes?
buy it. Yeah, if you put your feet.
Man, no, but-
Honestly, there is.
I've got slag up.
But that's what I mean. There's such an array. It's not just like getting naked or like chatting dirty. Like
Dirty socks as well.
yeah. Underwear, like they'll buy it. So you don't necessarily even need to get naked. Like men will buy, and it's probably the same the other way around. I'm sure there's probably women out there that might buy it from men.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's people who've got like.
Someone needs to introduce me to a guy doing this, and I want to understand the logic. I want to know why. Yeah.
And for my next guest.
So the spectrum's massive, isn't
Yeah.
it? But I think what you're getting at is probably more like the whole.
Well, I just know.
To be fair.
Okay, for an
the
example, so
entertainment side of it.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I follow a girl on Instagram, and she has got she's got like OnlyFans and stuff like that, and she's got a happy relationship. She's got a child, brilliant. But her thing is being like a dominatrix. So she has these slaves, these men that slaves that pay her to perform that service for them. So she doesn't ever meet them or anything like that, but she's on the phone to them. She's sending them pictures. There's a subscription involved, so people are paying a monthly subscription. So you have to keep up those subscribers. The thing is with something like OnlyFans is they're buying into you, not just pictures. They're buying into that experience of being able to talk to you and stuff like that.
You know a lot of.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. So, but her boyfriend is obviously fine with it.
We don't know if her boyfriend's fine with it.
Yeah, just as
We
we
don't know anything
No.
about their relationship.
But they're still together, is my point. He's not left. They've had a
Yeah.
child, those kind of things. So, yeah, I guess for me, no, because I just can't be dealing with that. I can't be going out to Tesco with Siege and thinking, so many of these people might have seen my man naked, like as we're walking around. Like it's just, especially in the town that we live in, it's a very small place. And people have to advertise these kind of platforms on their social media. So a lot of people know that you do that as well. Mm-hmm. So you're walking around these circles of people and they may have just seen naked pictures of your girl.
Does that not say, and by the way, I agree with you 100%. The idea of like walking around town and knowing that certain man have seen your girl naked. But does that not say more about our insecurities than it does say about...
100%.
Because I know certain man whose girls pose in lingerie and they're fine with it, and I think them man there deserve so much more, so much respect, because they're comfortable in their skin. They know full well that all these men that are paying for pictures or liking pictures, fair play, thumbs up to you, but that's my girl. I'm the
That
one
money's
that
going
gets
in my account, in the joint account.
you know what I'm saying? I'm the one that spends money time with this girl. I'm the one that gets the sort of, the
benefits of actually being
exactly.
with her.
I get the benefits of being with the girl. So does that not say more about our insecurities of not being able to just
100%. But
do you know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest with you. I'm one of those people where I'll be open about it. I don't want to feel insecure ever at any stage. I'll be honest. I'm just gonna be real, man. I don't want to feel insecure in my relationship, especially. You know what I'm saying? So anything like that will make me feel that type of way. No way.
I think as well, with
happen.
you saying if like you've been in a relationship and they've not done that, to then do it, why?
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden do you want to go down that career path? I don't understand. Like
Easy
where does
money
that-
though, I suppose.
The craziest thing about I was watching like something on CNBC, I think, about OnlyFans, just how it started as a business and how much it's worth now. But most people don't even earn that much money on that.
That's
platform.
the biggest thing, isn't it? How much
So if
are
you're
you
going on
earning
there and
for
you're
this?
bringing in £100 a month, nah. If you're talking 20 mil, you can have a discussion. £100 a month.
So basically, what you're saying is if it's life changing, it's okay.
Bro, you could literally go Primark and earn more money. You're bringing in no funds. Get that Primark top on and work 8 hours at the weekend. What the fuck are we talking
Work
about?
for minimum wage. Yeah.
Fuck that, man.
Okay, so that leads me on to my next topic then. So, talking about insecurities, do you want to know your potential partner's body count?
Absolutely
No.
No.
I'd say no. I agree with you, no. But the key...
I know
As
what
long
you're
as
going to say.
as long
I
as
know
you
what you're
haven't
gonna say.
slept with any of my friends or man that I pally with, then calm.
But also, why would you need to know? What benefit is it giving you knowing how many people your partner has slept with?
They've slept with someone before, so it may as well be 20 or 200. It doesn't matter to me. They've slept with someone else before.
No. I don't know.
No.
Why do you need to know? Why?
But the reason why, listen to you. I get. It's a good question. Why would you need to know? But the reason they might need to know is for the obvious reason. They don't want to be with a person who's caught loads of bodies and just
Which I get.
But what's loads? That's a real question.
Yeah.
If you're with someone who's been in a relationship for 10 years before you're with them, and that's and they're only say mid-20s or whatever, they've probably not slept with many people in it. But if you're then with someone who has never been in a long-term relationship before, that count might be something that you ain't ready for. Let's be real. They start putting out numbers.
But then let's average
50,
it out.
Nah.
Let's average it out. 1 a month, it's fine.
What if you've done the flip side and they was in a long-term relationship and they've been single like a year, but their body count's 40?
Jesus. Then they had
they've been busy.
That's what I mean.
That's what I mean. That's 40 man in a year. That could potentially be.
Do you want to know that? Do you want to know that?
40 in a year, blood. Jeez. Yeah.
Because then when you deep that and you really think about it, you're like, okay, I didn't want to know that. I didn't want to know that.
Yeah, and does that change that person? What did you say, Bruce?
There's only 52 weeks in a year, so there's 40 in a year. There's something mad.
There's some people doing couples a day, you know. That's Mandem as well, so let's not lie. But I think as well, at what point you found this out, so say if you're dating someone for 6 months and you really like this person, and then you find out their body count, does that alter your opinion on that person?
So say for example, they come to me and say, look, maybe you might want to know this. Why they'd ever do that, I don't know. But if it came from them, it's different.
Yeah.
If one of the mandem comes up to me like, oh, you know this girl you've been seeing? She's had a bag of man.
Yeah.
I'm out.
But then it comes back to that thing, what is a lot?
It's subjective.
It depends on age. It depends on, like you say.
It's subjective. Some people could be, I don't know, you could go out with a 35-year-old and that person could have slept with 5 people and that person would be like, that's loads. It's up to your own personal opinion, and obviously that's shaped by the people around you, the experiences you've had. So it's all subjective.
I'd agree with what you said though. As long as there's nobody in my circle of people or somebody that I'm not going to have to come into regular contact with, then for me it's not, I don't care.
One thing I find interesting about this topic is I think women are a lot more accepting of mandem having
facts
like the Kobe Bryant numbers and body count. But mandem sorry, a guy can go out and fucking sleep with not all women, but a guy can go out and sleep with the high numbers, but mandem you could be like, a girl can tell you that she had a coffee with someone at lunchtime. Not with my man. So it's just funny how the different genders are.
The expectations.
One's more accepting than the other. But mandem just.
But I think it comes down to people expect that a guy has probably done worse.
That's wrong though. It's so wrong.
It is wrong. It's completely wrong. But I think because that's such a I guess just socially accepted by everyone that's probably the case. People probably just, I don't know, set that as a target for people of if you've done this, then cool.
I think generationally, it's getting more socially acceptable for girls to just have sex with people if they want to have sex with people, because before it would have been very much men can go out.
Are you saying that now in this generation?
I said it's getting more accepted. It's moving in the right direction to say that if a girl wants to sleep with someone and have no strings attached, that is fine.
Absolutely,
they can do that, and that doesn't mean that the names that they would have been called back in the day or whatever. They can do that. It's absolutely their choice, but there are still, like you say, mandem out there that will be like, what, so you just slept with someone? You weren't even their boyfriend. You weren't even their girlfriend. There is still that mentality of so you just sleep with men then? Whereas it shouldn't be like that. If you're going to go out and just have a one-night stand or just sleep with someone or be friends with benefits or whatever you want to call it, that's so socially acceptable for a bloke. But for a woman, there's still those people that will say, nah, I can't run with that.
Do you know, I'll be honest, I think there's individuals that make the whole thing worse for everyone else, like in terms of from a guy's perspective. Because I know certain man that, yeah, like Siege said, hitting Kobe Bryant numbers. But if they found out that their girl was left with one extra person they didn't know about 100%. 10 years ago, they're kicking off.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, like...
Double standards.
The man there, yeah, they caused the problem for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Because that literally is just, yeah, it's
But
just unfair.
at the same time, though, I also think probably women might cause problems for themselves in the sense that some women will judge women for having one-night stands. Men won't judge men for having one-night stands. In fact, you'll be lauded for it, right?
Facts, yeah.
Whereas I don't necessarily think that will happen in a female circle. Some women will see, okay, well, let's move on to the next conversation. It's not important. But some will be like, yo, can you believe she's done that?
Yeah.
Whereas
absolutely.
every man will be like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's about that culture change of making sure, like, within your own groups around you, like, making sure that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're allowed to do that. Like, if you want to do that, that's you. Like, it's no business of mine. Like, in factual fact, yeah.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? But, like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be the same way.
Why can't we
like,
celebrate it?
If you want to do that, go do you. It's none of my business as your friend to be saying, oh, you shouldn't have done that, because why is it my fucking business? It doesn't affect me. So people with such strong opinions like that in friendship groups, it makes me laugh, because I just think, just because you don't tell people the shit that you do behind closed doors, don't mean that you can be passing judgment on other people's business. So I don't know, but the next one also links into that. So would you sleep with someone if your friend had already done so previously?
There's got to be a time frame on this. I'll be honest. I'll just be honest about this.
Not week to week.
Say, for example, yeah, like, you never know. It could be like, say, like, so I'm 29 now. Okay, cool. I'm in a relationship. Say someone had told me, one of the man turned around and said, by the way, look, you don't know this, but 10 years ago, me and Holly had a thing. I'd be a little bit hurt not knowing.
But I think that's different. That's not specifically what I'm saying. I'm just talking about just sleeping with someone.
Oh, so you were talking just...
So just,
okay.
You're just going to go sleep with someone, but they've already slept with one of your friends.
What's the percentage of the story?
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
81% of people said, nah, sloppy seconds. 81%
I think
of
a lot
people.
of people fucking lied.
Liar.
A lot of
Liar.
people lied. A lot of people lied.
Liar. Yeah.
Having their high standards and shit like that.
Yeah.
No. I guarantee, like you said, I think it depends, doesn't it?
The context is there.
If like, you know, say your friend slept with someone like that week, the Monday, and they're coming through on the Friday, no, like, come on, let's have.
Yeah.
But if it's years,
3 to 5 working days.
then, yeah, let's have a little bit of.
But yeah, like if you said to me, oh, I've slept with so and I've slept with. So cool. How was it?
And also, like,
I'm not gonna
there's no like.
I don't know about
No, but I'm not gonna be.
Let's compare notes.
I'm not gonna be mad about it, and neither is she. Like, because it's not
But
like
there's
you're
no
saying.
feelings involved, no emotions attached to it. Then what's the issue?
Yeah. If you're not in a relationship with that person, what difference does it make? That person slept with many others before that you don't know about. So
you probably
what's the
do
difference?
actually know.
Yeah, you do know. I'm probably caught. Hella what? You know, I'm not going to go into that. But do you know what I mean? Like, what difference does it make if that's your friend or not? Like, it's just sex at the end of the day.
But I think it's also having to... I'm going to be in social situations where they're both going to be with me at the same time, and occasionally you might have to look at it might cross your mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm sat there and then they start having a conversation and they're laughing or something. That might suddenly trigger a thought in my head, like, hold on a second.
It comes back to that thing,
Yeah,
I never want to feel insecure in my relationship.
Exactly, I don't ever want to feel like that. But no, but at the same time, I don't think I'd actually be that bothered, as long as I knew it was a long time ago.
Are you talking about in your relationship?
Yeah. But I also want to know that
I
I'm
don't
getting a different
know about
experience
that.
than what they have.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know if any time would make me feel comfortable with that.
For real. If I'm the latest person to be like in this scenario, I want to know that I'm getting the best of this. Like, let's be real. Like, that's real.
The best version.
If I'm not, we've got issues.
I don't want to hear random somebody being like, oh yeah, but she did this. Nah. I want to know I got all the extras. Let's be real.
I hear you. I'm with you.
I don't think that could ever be me. I don't think I could be like if like we were in the same room and I like one of my friends is set with Siege. I don't know how I feel about that because he's my boyfriend. But if it's just somebody that you're gonna sleep with, then yeah, you mean nothing to me. There's no loyalties there. But like you said, if you find out, and it depends on how you find out, because the last thing you want is someone coming to you 6 months, a year into your relationship and being like, oh, by the way, I slept with your girlfriend.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad.
You tell me again? What? Like, yeah. Okay. This one's a bit different. So, and this is specifically for you, really, because we had this discussion last night with my parents, actually. Guys, would you be bothered if your girl earned more than you?
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I find it. Any guy that's bothered by this is insecure as shit, bro.
Facts.
So insecure. I'm fortunate enough to work in an industry where my earning potential is insanely high. If
we know you're a lawyer. In case anybody doesn't know.
I'm not a lawyer yet, but I will be soon.
Yeah.
But if you earn more money than me, then shit, bring more money than me in. I want an easy life. If you can provide me with an easier life by earning more money than me, what have I got to fear?
I think it's healthy competition.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Like for me and like, so basically like for me and Holly, we met at work. So we were already in the same job role, earned the same amount. She moved on to get paid 10k more doing the same job role. And at this point we were together at this point. So for me, it was like, okay, cool. Like I'm actually genuinely really happy for you. At the same time, it gave me a bit like, all right, cool. Let me go and step up a bit. You know? So, and then, come 6 months later, I did exactly the same thing. So I think it is just genuinely just healthy competition between us. So I don't see anything wrong with it. I think if anything, you should want your partner to earn more, surely.
That was the majority. It was 79% of people said that they would love it if their partner earned more than them. And like you say, I think it breeds that healthy competition, or just champion each other. Like, that's sick. Like, and what can I do better? To contribute to our livelihood, our earnings and stuff.
I think it would bring the best out of you as well. Like, if it wasn't for Holly going and doing that, I definitely would have pushed myself to be better. So I think it definitely exactly. Yeah, I got really comfortable, and then she just kind of like helped me realise, all right, cool. It's not about just being comfortable. Let's try and push ourselves. Like, so I think definitely if it brings the best out of you as well, why not? I don't see anything wrong with it.
We have to talk about this 21% though. The 21% of people that said, nah, could never be me.
I think it goes back to what Siege said. But it's
Ego,
pride,
100% ego.
Fact. That's.
And I just think we're grown. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you've still got that mentality, if you're going into a relationship thinking, I've got to earn more, I've got to be the person who provides. That's so old school. Like, we're part.
1950s.
You can separate the providing and earning more. Because me and Chloe have the conversation of like, obviously we both earn pretty well, so it's like if it ever comes to a stage where we have the conversation, kind of flip the question a bit, it's like if one of us was earning 10 bags a month and the other's earning 3 bags a month, still not bad money. Like who should pay rent?
Yeah.
Split, because realistically, if you both want to be comfy in a sense, it would make more sense for the person with the more money to cover the rent because you're a team, but at the same time also, should they sacrifice what they work for in order to cover the rent? So they can then get, do you know what I'm saying?
I think, and that discussion comes when that situation arises, and it depends on what situation you're in. I mean, we've had that discussion already, because I know that by the end of this year, Siege will be earning probably much more money than me. And then it comes into that conversation of like, you know, when you have kids and stuff like that, he will provide more of the income because I will be taking care of our children. So you make those sacrifices. Like, I will have to sacrifice some of my career to be a mum. So that isn't me saying, you know, I want to earn less. I have to earn less because there's got to be one of us at home to look after the kids. And if he's the big earner, then he's going to be the one that's making more of that income. But I make that sacrifice in my own career to take that step back to be able to do those things.
No, you're right.
And we're in agreement with that. But like you say, you have to have that discussion, and it's personal to everyone.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, personally, me and Chloe have that same kind of thing. Like, she's very much domestic. She's very good at that as well, and she would be a very good mother and whatever. And I've always been a bit of a hustler, so I'll always be invested in that side of things. So it kind of worked. But then there are certain couples, if you're playing devil's advocate, that can be selfish and have selfish qualities.
Yeah.
Or think that because you're at home, just looking after kids.
Yeah,
and
just.
clothes, then they think that that's not. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot
Yeah.
of different mentalities out there.
And it comes back to that sacrifice, doesn't it? Because who's to say that if I didn't go on to have children, I wouldn't surpass him in his career and earn more money. Not saying I would, but it's but you're holding back your potential because you've got a duty to be at home at certain hours of the day,
And
school
that's your
run and stuff like
sacrifice.
that.
So
Yeah.
in a sense, I feel that in a way, whether it's a male or female,
Yeah.
because they're stay-at-home dads too.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the other person should have to make the sacrifice almost financially in order for you both to equally balance out the relationship.
And let's be honest, like you both benefit from that anyway. You're both living in, so say if you've got a mortgage or whatever, if somebody is putting in more money, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You're still living together and for having that lifestyle. You've got to have that conversation, I think, in that partnership to say, how are we going to work this that's fair? Because I just think it's a conversation for each individual couple and it'll be different for everyone. But I think in our circumstances, we've definitely had that conversation, and it's very evident that I could go on and be really successful, but at the same time, if you want the balance of having a family life as well, you have to make those sacrifices. And for somebody like Siege, who's trained for 7 years to do what he's going to be doing, it won't be him making that sacrifice because he would be able to provide something different within that relationship or that dynamic that I potentially couldn't. So it's an individual discussion, I think.
I think, and I was just going to say, I think that all these topics just highlight insecurities in so many ways, don't they? Whether it be an insecurity in a relationship or your own personal growth through finances. Like, I personally could never be shook of someone else, of my partner earning more P's than me. I don't get that insecurity.
No.
Like,
and I think if you would have asked all of us these questions 5-6 years ago, there might have been different answers. Because I think you grow as people. And I know for me personally, I was always a very insecure individual. And I've spoke about this on pod before. Whereas now I'm very self-assured. I'm very self-confident. And my answers 5 years ago would have been very different if I was being honest with myself back then than they are now.
I mean, if you'd put me back to where I was, I would never have thought, I'm a single mum with a mortgage, running a business as well as a full-time job. Never would have thought I'd been able to do that on my own. I always felt like I had to rely on someone else. I had to be in a relationship so that I could, just keep afloat. And you're just very different, isn't it?
Experiences bring on drive that you just never knew you had, I think.
Yeah. And when you're put into that position where there is no other option, you got to do it.
You have to fight harder to get what you want. But now, like on reflection, looking back on where you were before, people are feeding into those insecurities. That's why you allow people to affect that energy to make you think that you could never achieve that.
Yeah.
But now you're just sat there thinking, I've proved everyone wrong. I could have done it the whole time. But other people tend to hold you back as well. It's not all within
They
you.
do that due to their own insecurities.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my next point.
They say that because they can't. They don't think they can do it.
Yeah.
They don't want to see you do it.
Yeah.
And I've got friends that are in relationships that have got partners that do hold them back, and they instead of championing their success, they're kind of like, are you sure you want to do that? They make them doubt themselves because they're insecure in their own success, so they try and hold them back to be like, oh, are you sure?
Me or,
Yeah, that shit can cause so many problems.
I've
experienced stuff like that before where there's certain things I've always wanted to do, and
100%.
now get to the point of being 29, I've looked back and I'm thinking there's so much stuff I would have done differently. And
I wish I'd taken that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking at it now okay, it's not necessarily a point of it's too late, but I'm like, okay, cool. I'm probably 5-6 years behind where I may want to be on certain things that I want to achieve, just because someone else made me feel like I couldn't do it.
100%.
What would have happened? What would have happened if you'd have taken that one thing that was there without that person saying, "Oh, don't do that."
They talk you out. Sometimes friends doing it as well. I've had certain friends I've had to cut out just because they don't help my progression in any shape or form.
Absolute facts.
Yeah, like you always get people like, say for example, like you go for, I don't know, you go for a promotion or you go to try something new and they're just like, oh, that's just not gonna work. And like, I can't be asked to do
That means extra hours, that means less time with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all they want to do is bring up the negative
true.
sides of it instead of thinking, okay, cool, well, this could actually be a positive thing and
Yeah.
so much better for you in the long run. Like, I can't stand people like that. Like, I just think anyone should cut them
Go weed them out.
regardless if it be a
Absolutely.
relationship or
Celebrate
friendship.
your
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
celebrate your family,
Facts.
whoever it is, the people around you, like
shit.
gas them up. 'Cause
The last question I had, and this was a 50-50 split.
Oh, okay.
What are your thoughts on Botox and fillers? Oh, who wants
I'll
to
start.
Don't all come up once, will you? Jesus Christ.
I'll start. So we've had loads of discussions
Yeah,
about this, haven't we?
yeah.
And I've had lots of thoughts throughout my life, and you know what? They change. I think with where I am personally, with how I feel about how I look, and obviously everyone else is different. So I have thought about it. I've thought about like getting my lips done and stuff like that. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I've got money sat at home because at the back end of last year I was like, oh, I feel like I want to get my lips done.
You know what? No hate to those who've got it done. Like, fair play. If that's what you want, that's what you want to do. If it makes you feel better, cool. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
I just don't rate it.
And there is that pressure, I think, at the moment, and it's because lots of people are getting them. It's almost like, oh, I should have to get them to kind of keep up. But then
Keep up with what?
I know. But like I say, I at the back end of last year was like, oh, I want to get my lips done. And Siege was like, okay, well, like whatever makes you happy, I'll pay for you to have them done. And I have the money at home, still sat there thinking,
you know what scares me the most?
do I get them or not? Because
spending that money
and hating them.
Yeah.
I know, and that's my fear.
That feeling like when you go and get a haircut or your hair dyed or something, and you're there like that. Yeah, I really like it. You go home and you cry about
Me
it.
and you are the same person. Do you like it? Yeah. Love it. Get in the car, like cry.
I hate it. Exactly. Like, and how much is getting your lips done? £100.
Yeah.
And then you obviously you can get them dissolved, but you just no.
Yeah, and I'm still
risking
very much
it.
on the fence because I've seen people with them and I think, oh, that looks really nice.
They
And
look
then
really
I've seen
good.
other people with them and I think, whoa, you've had way too much. Like, and it's just getting that balance, I think. But yeah, I don't know what you.
But I think it's down to preference. Some people might love the big lip look, some people might
Yeah,
not at all.
absolutely.
And also, I think it's also down to the reason you're getting them. If you're getting them because you have an insecurity in yourself and you feel like that would improve how you
I have
feel
no
about
top
yourself,
lip, bro. So I
I
smile,
think there's
it disappears.
justification there.
It's not. Everyone will
But I
know.
feel like if you're doing it purely for the reason other people are doing it, then it's a no-go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Personally, for me, it's not for me, innit? And like, realistically, if some random girl says to me, I'm going to get my lips done, I'm like, do you? I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if Chloe come to me and was, I'll get my lips done, I'd be like, again, her body, but I'd be like, I would not be for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it would change how she would look in a sense.
Yeah.
That would matter to me, but like the point is you'd feel more close to home about it because you'd be like, oh, shit, I got kiss them lips, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I
That's true.
So you got to be very sure about it, haven't you? If
Yes,
you're going to go
and that's
through that
why
procedure,
I've
you
got
need
it
to
on
be
the.
sure.
Yeah, I've got it. You know, I've got it there if I want it, and I could potentially get it. And that's not me saying I will or I won't, but I'm just everything about me I have to be very sure about. I've got a tattoo on my ribs that I thought about for like 8 years before I got it tattooed on my body because those things, and I love it now, but I'm glad I waited so much time before I got it done because I could have just turned 18 and thought, yeah, I'm going to get that because I love it. And then you can hate it. Like,
Yeah.
I've got other tattoos that I do not like because it was just a bit of a spur of the moment thing. And now I think you're a fucking idiot because that's on your body forever.
I also know that me personally, there's other things that I would much rather spend that money on.
Yeah, no, that's
me
that's the
personally,
thing, innit?
Yeah.
than putting something into my face. So that's just not for me.
So yeah, there's a lot of pressure I think at the minute for girls, men, whatever. Just social media is just it's brilliant for some of the things that it does do, but there is that pressure for younger people I think because you know I'm 27, 28 this year, whatever. I'm getting to that point in my age, my life where my skin will start to age naturally. But there's girls that are 21 getting Botox.
Yeah, they're doing all that.
And I'm
already.
thinking like, like how much Botox are you going to have in your face in the next 20 years? Because you'll end up looking like Sylvester Stallone's mum, bruv. Like,
porn like him right now.
Yeah.
But no, I've got like, I guess I'm like, I've got fairly strong views on it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm categorically like just against it. Like the only reason why is because I just think.
Judging.
No, it's not.
Nah.
I don't look at people wrongly and think it looks wrong or anything like that. I just think with social media, and just the way that people view stuff and how everyone has this whole thing of always want to show their highlights or always want to look good.
Yeah.
It takes away the whole point of like people age. Like that's a part of life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just deal with your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's part of your life. Like just some people age gracefully. Like there's some people that genuinely age and start to look better as they get older.
Yeah.
Like if you start playing around with this stuff now, you're not gonna know that. Like you could potentially mess your whole look up by the time you get to a certain age. Like, Like, because like one person who's always said to me they want to get something done is my mum. Like my mum's always said that she wanted to have something done with her nose and potentially have Botox. She's now in her 50s, doesn't have a single wrinkle anyway, but she's still talking about it. So like for me, I'm looking at her like calm down. Like like you don't have a single wrinkle. You look the same you did 20 years ago. Like there's no need for you to actually do this. It's almost like people are just trying to, I don't know, just live up to an expectation, like especially for women. Like I feel sorry for women on this subject more, to be honest. Because, I feel like you're having to live up to some sort of expectation forever looking good, and you're just there to look good all the time. And
comes back to that thing this week with Khloe Kardashian. Did you see it? No. There was an unfiltered picture that went out of her in her bikini, and they like got legal teams involved to get it taken down off of every platform because it was leaked, unedited. And Khloe then released a statement and basically said, like, I'm not trying to live up to an expectation, but the media have consistently bashed me, you're the fat sissy, you're the ugly sissy, you're the blah, 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 that I feel like I have to kind of feel as best as I possibly can when I post images. Otherwise, I get shit for it. So on one hand, people are saying, oh, you're promoting a really bad image for young girls because you will only post edited images. But on the other hand, if she doesn't, she gets bashed for it either way. So it's like, it's a catch-22, you can't win.
It's not a catch-22. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you that.
That's her opinion.
Yeah, okay.
Not my opinion.
I'm not giving her that. I'm not giving that. I personally, it goes back to what happened to Molly May, I don't know, a number of months ago, where she was on holiday and I guess the press caught her in just candid pics. She was jumping off a ship or something, a yacht or whatever, into the sea. And obviously those pictures then went on Daily Mail, and then bare like geeks who've never actually interacted with women before started commenting comments and that. And then she obviously was like upset about it, which is obviously rightfully so, right? Men don't have the right to just bash how you look and just, you know, hurt your self-esteem like that. But you put out pictures that aren't candid. So you're the one that sets the expectation of you. People see your pictures and think, rah, this is what Molly May looks like on a daily basis. Rah, this is what Khloe Kardashian looks like on a daily basis. So when people then see the pictures that aren't those ones, they're thinking, who the fuck is this? That's not Molly May. That's not... And then, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
And then, like what you're saying, by trying to live up to society's expectations of how women should look, you're giving people an expectation of how you look when you look good, but you're not giving people a realistic understanding of, I don't look good every day. Like, I look good when I go out in nightclubs, that's how I look, but sometimes I just want to wake up and put a hoodie on.
Yeah, facts.
And when those pictures do come out,
yeah,
once again, those geeky men who play Fortnite all day shouldn't be commenting on those pictures, talking shit like that. Yeah, fuck Fortnite and COD as well. But I guess what I'm saying is like you're giving the expectation of you. So once you then start to deviate away from that expectation, you can't be surprised when people are like, "What the fuck? Who's that?" Yeah. And at the same time, sorry to keep going on, but you're creating a vicious cycle because you're giving a picture of Molly May and Khloe Kardashian. And then 16-year-olds think, oh shit, that's what I need to look like. So I then need to go get filler and I need to get Botox to look like that. So when those 16-year-olds then grow up to be 26 and they then get caught with real images of themselves as real women, they're going to feel shit because people are going to start saying shit to them. Like, why not just give both sides?
I've
this is how I
spoken
look when I look nice. This is how I look when I've woken up at 10 a.m. and I just want to have a full English breakfast in my bed.
But I think there's another side to it as well, though, because I know when we're saying like, okay, they look nice this way. It's not to say they don't look nice the other way.
Facts.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? There's women that can wear no makeup and look beautiful. Let's be honest. Like I say to my girlfriend all the time. I always say to her, like, you don't need to wear makeup. Like, I genuinely find you the most attractive woman as well, and she has
so
like,
cute.
No, it's true. It's like, to me, it's true, isn't it? Like,
Romeo guy.
no, I'm just being honest, isn't it? I'm just being honest.
Shakespeare.
No, I'm just being honest. Like, for me, she has.
Don't sit there all stush. Don't sit there stush.
No, but she has freckles in it. She tries to hide them by putting makeup.
Let Juliet live, man.
I'm just being honest, isn't it? Like, for me, it's just that, like, I'm just like, nah. Like, for me, she looks beautiful both
That's
ways.
personal preference, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
for her,
yeah.
that might be an insecurity that she wants to hide.
Yeah, facts.
So
Like, she would rather cover up her freckles. So I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. I think she looks beautiful both ways. So it doesn't matter to me. Like, but at the same time, there's definitely a type of fitting into what she expects people to look
absolutely.
like I think, and like I said before, I feel sorry for women to have to actually deal with that, because from a guy it's a bit different. Like,
guys have the same thing, but it's definitely worse for women.
Yeah.
Like,
for us, it's like, okay, cool, you could bang on a pair of Balenciagas or something and just, you know, like, yeah, cool, I can stunt with someone today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one's going to say that. No one's going to be like, Breeze, you ain't shaped up your beard in 2 months. Like no one's going to even pay attention to it. Like, let's be real, like, they're not. Like, but for women, it's completely different.
Like,
everyone's noticing. I'm not going to lie.
We saw Breeze the other day and I didn't even recognise him because he got a full on beard. I was like, who's Hollywood? Oh wait, that's Breeze. Breeze got a beard now. But I think lockdown has taught us a lot to just be comfortable in our own skin. I know I don't wear makeup every day anymore, and I was the type of girl that wouldn't go out without eyebrows.
I'm still that girl.
Yeah,
I am that girl.
And let's have it right. There's nothing wrong with
No.
it.
No, not at all.
If you're doing it for your own happiness, you could literally like Charles will still go. Sometimes we'll go for a walk, and she'll still want to do certain things makeup wise because she wants to feel happy in herself. Do that.
My personal preference is I prefer my face with makeup on.
yeah,
And there's
same.
nothing wrong, and no one can judge you for that. It's like what you were saying earlier. And what you were saying as well. If you're doing it to meet other people's standards, nah. But no, I've got quite a different way of thinking. Like, only my closest friends, family, those are the people I care about. Most people have no impact on my life. So what the fuck do they think about
But
me?
then that is so.
He's the worst person.
You've been like that.
He literally
You've been like that.
he couldn't care less. We'll do anything.
It's facts. Yeah.
Bro, real talk. People, if I listen to what most people like would say to me, I definitely wouldn't be just about to qualify as a lawyer. I wouldn't have got to as far as I am in my life. Like, and I've still got things to do. Like, I've still got growth in me, but most people don't have any. They don't have their impact on my life. So I don't know
A lot of people though ain't strong enough to think like that.
Yeah, he's
Like,
very
if I-
strong-minded.
Yeah,
He's
if I
very
look at,
strong-minded.
So obviously I work with teenagers day to day, and the amount of them, it's shoved in people's faces. This expectation of to look a certain way and to be a certain way, and the amount of girls that I come across, I have conversations with them, and they're like, they say to me, "Oh, miss, come in with no makeup on." I'm like, "Yeah, right, never happening." They're like, "Why?" So, and I'll be honest with them, and I'll say, like, that's something I just wouldn't do. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. But the amount of, I've got girls, and they're like, "Oh, my friends are so pretty," and they don't see how beautiful they are, and it is so sad to see that. And I've got girls who've got eating disorders, who self-harm, all because of what they think people think of them as well. And you know what? And this goes back to social media. Don't get me wrong, social media's got a lot of pros to it, but it is, when it comes to like working with children, the worst thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I go back to school, I don't think I got my first phone till I was in year 9, and it was a Nokia.
Yeah.
So you could literally, most of the time people couldn't afford to be texting you, because no one had credit. Whereas
Snapchat
now,
is the devil, bro.
people.
Wednesdays though. Sorry, I just thought.
Cheap date.
Been trying to make those savings.
But now there is no rest. It is relentless. Like, I've heard stories where, like, this is awful. they all add like one person into like a group chat, and then they'll just abuse that person.
Yes, so
Like,
bad.
it is savage.
Yeah.
And you just think, what the like? Imagine if how is someone meant to come
It's
back
just no
from
escape.
that?
There's just no
Yeah.
escape from
And
it.
you go to school with these people as well, so you see them every day
Yeah.
as well. Oh, boy.
Then you
So
come
you
home
see
and
them
you have
and
to
they're
be
there,
engaging with this.
yeah, or they go on a live and like they
I
just
know,
get
we've
bashed. Like
we've witnessed this with our own eyes.
Yeah, we don't go on
Family
school
members.
like, we put context in that.
No, but my cousins are of school age and stuff, and I hear about things like now, and I think, oh, like, it's so hard to be a teenager.
It
The
is.
worst
So
like social media type thing we had at school that was probably the worst thing to do was just happy slap back then. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Remember happy slap?
What's happy slap?
Oh my days, right? So,
What happened? Well, when you go up and film someone and you slap
so
them.
you would like
No, okay.
you'd start trying to interview
I thought it
them,
was
someone
an
come
app
up
or
behind and
something.
just slap them. That's it. And then someone would video it somewhere, but there weren't really no social media to even. put it out.
Bebo,
Yeah,
and you
Bebo
get
was-
pissed off.
MySpace.
You just get pissed off if somebody didn't share their love with you that day, or you weren't in their top 5. I lie because
your
in
top
school,
five.
top
Top
5
five
was
was a big deal.
Big deal. If
Yeah,
you were in
fights
some-
that come from that.
if you were in someone's top 5, and then the next day you disappeared off that top 5, I'm thinking, why the
Beef.
fuck aren't they in your top
Straight.
5
I know, you
anymore?
could save it with that MSN name. Put them in there.
And I said, yeah, if they're not in the name, yeah.
In your 5.
Russell, you can save it with that.
I'm taking you out for just a couple of days, but you're still in.
You're still
in
doing
there. Yeah, nah, different era, innit? Like you just can't escape it. But I've spoken about this briefly before. There is a bit of a culture change where girls are posting images of their cellulite and their stretch marks and stuff like that to just make it out there. But what I do not like is when people make a big deal of that. This is me before and this is me as normal. We'll just post a picture of you as normal then.
Yeah.
Because I know what their point is.
If you're really
but
celebrating it,
just
then
be candid then.
Yeah.
Just embrace who you are. Don't put a filter on your pictures. Just you don't even need to mention the fact that you've got cellulite. We can see it. Just embrace it like it's normal. I've noticed Olivia Bowen, the girl from Love Island who married Alex Bowen in the end. She's got like she must have psoriasis or something.
Yeah, she gets
like a
that
rash or
rash.
something. She's never posted a post and said, "I've got psoriasis. Come and have a look at this picture. Girls, do it." She just posts the pictures of her with her skin as it is, and she just fucking owns it. And I'm like, yeah, good for you, because you shouldn't have to point out like, "I've got cellulite. You should love it too." Like,
can
just
see
post
that.
it.
I think
I'm back in the I've got cellulite people, because at the end of the day, the message is still there. If I don't have to agree with the way you put a message out, but if you're
But my point
if
is,
you're
it
putting
shouldn't
out
have to
body-
be a message. It should just be the general
accepted. But it's not, is it?
thing. It's not.
And that's where it's coming from. If
Yeah.
it's not
Doing it half-hearted.
accepted.
Why?
Because I think it's like you're kind of okay. Yes, you are putting the picture out there, but you're also putting the other picture out there. So it's almost like a half-hearted. Like, I'm going to give you this, but I'm also going to show you this. Like, no, just put the actual thing. Like,
Here's my backup.
Isn't that's the society we live in, though.
I get
the,
that.
the two pictures are literally the society we live in. When I go yard, and I'm literally, like I said, I'm watching football on a Saturday at yard, and Arsenal are losing. I'm not
shouting.
I'm not wearing a suit or whatever. But when I go out in the club, I'm not wearing a suit in the club. I was gonna say.
Waistcoat, yeah.
But you know what I mean? I will look smarter in the club, and I will look my normal self at yard. Those are the two. That is society.
But we're talking about
I mean, like,
people.
say you take one picture with a filter, and then you
Yeah.
take the same picture without
Yeah.
the filter.
Yeah.
And you post them.
my
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They put it next to each other.
Wait, I was on a
Yeah, you're on
different.
I'm saying they post the two pictures next to each other. So it's like, oh, here's me normal, and it's like, just post a normal one then.
It's the social media way.
I'm
It's,
with
like, it's
you.
the equivalent of sitting
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
fence, basically.
Yeah.
Like, just
Like,
don't
you can
bother.
see me looking real cute, or you can see me looking with my cellulite. It's like, you should just be saying, I look really fucking cute with my cellulite, not
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, you should just post it as it is, and that's, I hope
But then I
that,
think also those people are still like
On their own
hate
journey.
me for saying it. Yeah, still insecure. There's still
Yeah.
that insecurity there, because if they didn't have that, like you said, they would own it. And
they're
be
looking
like,
for people
this
to go,
is me,
oh, that's such a
done."
good message, please tell me more. Like, just own it. Especially if you've got that platform, like, just use
And
it
if
for
you
the
know
right reasons.
what, if you're putting a filter on your face, cool.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like if that's what you want to do, you do you as well, and be confident within that.
Yeah.
That's your choice. That's your choice. Why not? You know.
We
But
still got a
then-
long way to go. We're getting there slowly, with the message that young girls should be receiving. Because I remember growing up, and like you say, social media wasn't a thing, but I didn't even think that people had stretch marks, bro. So I was quite an early developer. Woke up one day with stretch marks, thinking, what the hell is this? Thinking it was the worst thing ever. And I only had my mum to be like, that's normal. But obviously your mum's just going to tell you that because it's your mum.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got to like in my 20s and I like realised that girls that are tiny have stretch marks, men have stretch marks.
And unfortunately, in the educational system,
they don't teach you that.
There is no conversation around.
Yeah.
Yes,
and now I don't
PSHE,
even think about them, but I wish there was
a
a person that I could have looked upon who just owned it and was like, yeah, everyone has this, because it would have saved me a lot of heartache growing up, you know, late teens and early 20s, thinking, oh, I have to hide these because they're awful. And that's like everyone.
And that is why they look towards social media.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing out there for them.
Yeah.
I guess when when I was at school, magazines, you'd go and get a magazine.
Yeah.
It was all over that. Obviously now
magazines,
it's more
freebies.
Bliss magazine.
I don't think we're heading in the right direction. I think it's getting worse.
Same.
Because I think when we were younger, we used to be able to go look at the TV, and the people who were on TV for something. They had some sort of talent.
Yeah, you're right.
Now
actually,
it's reality TV stars who literally
look a
do
certain
nothing
way.
but post filtered images.
Mm-hmm.
And
All the
unfortunately for
advertisements.
us, we are all adults. But if you're a 13, 12, 14-year-old kid and all of the people you follow are people who are talentless, apart from being able to apply the sickest filters. Am I lying?
Yeah.
Am I lying?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
It's just shoved in their face
Yeah,
completely.
I think we're heading in the complete wrong direction. But yeah, it's
It makes me not look forward to having kids, I'll be real.
I had a conversation with someone who said they've already got a child, but they said they are not going to have another child and bring another child into the world because of things like that.
That's mad.
That's extreme.
I get it because I've seen, again, we're working in a school. I've seen a child kill herself because, also I've not seen it, sorry, but we've had a child take her own life because she, had an eating disorder. And I see lots of children who probably could go that way because of the pressures that they've got. And like I said, it's 24/7. There is no rest from it. Kids don't have a sleeping pattern because they're on TikTok till 3 o'clock in the morning watching God knows.
It comes down to parenting as well. Like, you remove that phone at 9 p.m. or 6 p.m. or whatever, and you will be hated for it, I think, as a parent at that time, but your child will thank you for it later on, because like you say, you get to that point where it's just toxic behaviour.
But also as well, it's not just watching it, it's getting, keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Getting that abuse from people because they might not necessarily say it into your face, but they'll happily say it behind a screen and text you it and just bombard you with hate.
Yeah.
When we were in school, might be a little fight or whatever, but or a little catty
it was
exchange.
over like stupid stuff, wasn't it? It
Yeah.
wasn't over like severe. I mean, I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but
it's just constant. It's consistent, and it's abuse after abuse after abuse. Ugh, no, I couldn't do it.
I always like to end on a really high topic, so that was brilliant. Now, for real though, has anybody got anything they want to share, get people to check out? Have you been watching anything, hearing anything that you want to share with anyone?
I thought you were about to say something.
You guys are eager tonight. You're just biting my hand off when I'm asking these things.
I know T had something. I know he's not here, but he had. What was he talking about? The Seaspiracy thing. Watching that.
Yeah, I've not watched it yet.
I watched it.
And I'm not going to watch it.
I'm honest with you, I watched it, and then I thought, okay, these are some extreme things they're claiming. Went and fact checked a few things, and it's just like some of the data and stuff they were using was from like 2006. And
what is the program about?
So basically, Seaspiracy, it's about the damage that like these big companies that are doing like mass fishing and stuff like that are causing to the ocean, and the amount that they're overfishing stuff, and it's also killing other animals that are making them, borderline extinct. At the same time, it's just, and then it's also the effect that could then have on things like, the rest of the world, basically. With no sea and no animals.
Something to do with like by 2050 or something, they reckon there'll be no more fish in the sea.
Yeah, so that's the stat I'm talking about. So that stat there. So they said by 2040
there's plenty more fish in the sea.
But they say, so basically, in the thing they're saying in 2048 there will be no more fish in the sea, basically. But that actual stat came from a study in 2006, which was based on how they were fishing and stuff at the time. And then basically the way they've changed certain things is it basically means that yes, that stat is still a possibility to happen, but it'll be much later down the line. Okay. So they clearly didn't look at all of the stuff on that. So,
Breeze needs to be contacting Netflix to say, actually your facts are wrong.
It was on because I literally BBC do this like on their news app, they've got like a reality check section when you and they fact check certain things and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was one of the things on there, and yeah, it just stood out to me. I just remember reading it, thinking, okay, because I watched Seaspiracy before reading that, and I was like, I'm not gonna have fish no more.
I saw so many people like putting it on their stories like I'm not eating fish anymore.
I tried to go vegetarian once. It lasted about 2 weeks. I'm sorry, but it just. I'm here for the protein.
Not gonna eat fish, but I'll eat everything else.
I said 10 days.
I'm just not cut out for it. Whether that makes me a bad person or not, it's my choice. So that sounds very selfish, but lots of people are selfish in different ways. And if I want to eat meat, that's down to me.
There are other ways you can help with sustainability.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Not
using
just
single-use plastics.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
I think the big thing that show did point out though was, although yes, everyone has their own ways of doing stuff, for example, not using plastic straws and stuff like that, these big companies have got a lot to answer for.
Bro, that's
the thing. Accountability comes at those big companies. We've spoken about this before. You know, we can do what we can as individuals, but we don't have the power to change the things that they change.
One person posting on the story saying, "I'm going to stop eating fish." Okay, well done. That's not going to change it. Right, thanks.
Yeah, I'll continue.
I think it's a mass thing, isn't it? Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's a dangerous game because. Same as anything, you can't force your beliefs on people, and realistically, are you making a difference? Which is bad to say because it's good for them for doing that. Like I respect it, but at the same time, is it making the difference you want it to? The sacrifice you're taking as an individual. Do you know what I'm saying? Does it really outweigh it?
Yeah.
And also, while we're on a subject with all this plastic stuff, McDonald's straws.
Bruh, I hate it.
The straw and the cap. Why do you change the straw and not the cap?
You got a good point. Actually, you got a very good point.
Like that's just there. It's not doing anything.
I'll tell you something I hate is a paper straw because all it does is go mushy in your mouth.
What I mean.
It's just it's bare different, bro.
I think it was all to do with that viral video of that turtle that had the straw caught in its nose, basically. That had to put that, and everything started from that. Literally is where that all came from.
The bear man had straws in the nose on Friday.
It's alright.
Why are we caring about one turtle?
Oh shit.
Also, and I could be wrong in this, and I might sound really naive, but are we not turning all our money into plastic money?
I don't know if it's plastic. I'm pretty sure it is actually.
What the
£20 note has gone from paper to plastic.
I don't know where the material's from. I know they nicked that idea from Canada, but that's less to do with sustainability. I think it's more to do with those types of bills are harder to counterfeit, and also. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is we're making a sacrifice in one area, but then we're just creating more plastic in it.
If you flip that again, then yes, we are, but we'll be making less of them because they're more longer lasting than what we pay for.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
With those types of things, human beings are selfish, right? So unless the government forces you to do things, you won't do it. So, perfect example, the government's banning the sale of petrol or new petrol and diesel cars by
2035. I think it is.
Yes, I think this might be even 2030 something, but
I think by 2030 is they have to be at least a hybrid, and in 2035 it's just fully electric. Yeah,
we'll go with that. So. If that wasn't happening, people would still make. We know the impact of petrol and diesel cars on the environment. That's not going to stop Ford, Hyundai, Honda from making these Mercedes from making these cars. The only reason they're stopping is because the government said, "Well, you can't sell them in this market." So they then said, "Okay, well, fuck, we need to act. We need to continue to make money." So that's the same with single-use with anything, until the government tells you can't do this, people will keep doing it. It's just the way it is.
Okay, so was that your thing, Breeze? Are you speaking on behalf of
Yeah,
the team?
yeah,
Okay.
I'll speak on behalf
Okay.
of the
Hop out.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
You want to go next?
I haven't
no.
got anything, but rest in peace, DMX. DMX just died.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday?
OG.
Day before?
Day before
Day
yesterday.
before
Day before yesterday. So I grew up with DMX, listened to a lot of DMX growing up. I listen to a lot of DMX now. So
Our house is just pure DMX, basically.
So yeah, I would just
24/7.
say, I don't know, go on YouTube and watch some DMX videos, Rough Riders Anthem, how's it going down, anything, whatever, fly up. Yeah, rest in peace DMX.
Yeah, honourable shout out.
Yeah.
My thing is there's this new series on BBC called Organised Crime Detectives and
I think it's just called The Detective.
Okay.
The detectives.
The Detectives, Organised Crime. What? Okay, whatever it's called. You couldn't even come with your own subject. So, check me when you've got your own selection.
Yeah,
You're not reboring everyone else. Yeah, so it's called The Detectives Organised Crime, and it's just such a worth a watch. It's so like it's in depth.
No.
So it goes into the detail of like organised crime. I think it's in Manchester specifically,
Yeah.
this series. But you see CCTV, you see the police interviews, and if anybody likes any crime things like 24 hours in police custody, 999 watch and
This is on another level though.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
really it goes into depth. It's just sick. So yeah, I won't spoil it for too much for anyone, but that's my thing.
It's documentary, it's not fiction, isn't it?
Yeah, it's documentary based. It's real. It's right up my street. But I loved it. So
Very good.
Go and check it out. BBC. Yours? You got anything?
I actually just finished watching The Circle,
Yeah, I started and I haven't finished yet. But
so I finished it yesterday.
I'm on
No.
very limited TV watching.
And why is that?
Well, because I've just been watching so much maths and
Can you just clarify what that is for people?
Oh, Married at First Sight.
Right.
Again, another thing. Sick. Go check it out.
See, I've not.
Shake your head.
Which series was it that? There was a series, wasn't there, that just blew up? Which one was that?
That was series
Everyone
season
watched
6. I
it.
think Inez. Everyone will just
Yeah,
say
that
if
one.
I say Inez because
I
she was just
can't.
bringing a madness.
I just can't commit that much time again
Yeah, it's a
to
lot.
watching it.
It's a
41
lot.
episodes. No, I can't.
Yeah.
I'll say this, as someone who's been
What?
coerced into watching
What?
that season, 90% of it is trash. It's dead, disgusting. The 10%
10% though. The 10%. It pops off.
So shout
Yeah, but
out
you're
Ines,
waiting for it, aren't
shout
you?
out Sam. Shout out.
Sam. Why are you saying an American accent? It's Australian.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a New South Wales accent, but we won't go there. But yeah, personally, I wouldn't recommend that. I mean,
It's not your recommendations. We didn't ask you, so
Yeah,
you
but I'm
just
still
rest
cutting
with your
in, bro.
DMX and come with something else next time.
drink your drink, bro. Yeah, one sip that's left.
Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, The Circle is what I've watched. So I started watching The Celebrity Circle.
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
You clearly don't finish anything.
No, I'm not very good. I start things
TV
and I
at
think,
your
oh,
house
this is-
sounds so dry. The Circle. Celebrity Circle.
I watched
The
The Celebrity Circle.
You watched The Circle?
I've only watched the celebrity.
I quite like it.
Oh,
I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Especially, I quite liked it. I mean, hate on it if you want. No, I tell you what, it's interesting. It's really interesting how many people don't come in as themselves.
Yeah, no.
Like, I think the most recent one, I think there was about 4 people out of maybe 12. who
That's so
actually
hard though. My mum
were
said she's going to go
themselves.
in and she's going to be me. I was like, what? I was like, Ma, you're going to
I
ruin my
would
expert, my
Get your mum on
reputation."
it. Get your mum on it.
My mum has got no
Please.
filter. I would be the most hated girl in Britain, I swear to God. My mum is lovely, but she's like, yeah, I'm going to go in as you. And like, then I'll just be like you. And I'm like, no, this is... I do not consent. I do not consent, Mum. But yeah, no, this was a really interesting episode. I think it's good to have a different perspective on those topics. So thanks for coming on, guys. And
Thanks for having us.
yeah,
thank you.
you can come back anytime. But yeah, run up the old episodes, watch the new episodes, and thanks.